right, good morning. Good morning. Happy holidays. Wow, it was amazing how fast the room quieted down. That was awesome. I'm John Ahmann, the President and CEO of the Westside Future Fund. Want to welcome you to our last Transform Westside Summit of 2025. So thank you for being here. We're going to do this summit a little bit this morning. I always like to start with recognizing anyone that's here for their first time Transform Westside Summit. So if this is the first time, then raise them high so we really know. All right, welcome. Thank you for being here at our Transform Westside Summit. The way we'll do a quick overview of our program, I'm going to talk for just a couple more minutes. We always have our Transform Westside Summits. We always do a community-led devotion. And this morning, we're going to have a great gospel band performance. I'll talk about that in just a moment. So they'll lead us in a devotion through singing. In the spirit of fellowship, for those of you that always attend, we always typically take the time for everyone to self-introduce, but we thought that this time, rather than do that, we would take 5 minutes or so to say hello to your neighbor. And so we'll take a break for everyone to wish everyone happy holidays and say hello. And then I'm really excited this morning, and I know that we got a lot of folks coming out to hear our Superintendent of the Atlanta Public School System, Dr. Bryan Johnson, especially talk about the Booker T. Washington cluster. So thank you, Superintendent and his team, for being here this morning. We'll have time for Q&A. And some of y'all may have seen our very own trumpet player, Dan Cathy, has been booked. And we're going to wind up our Transform Westside Summit so you can pull it up on your phone, get ready to go. We're going to sing Joy to the World to kind of take us out at the end. And as we always do, kind of work to end by 9 o'clock. So I want to do just a few overview items. Those of you that aren't familiar with it, please, we have a great monthly e-newsletter. And so please subscribe to our newsletter. There it is, our Transform. I know also we have a great Director of Marketing Communications, Shalon, raise your hand. I think Shalon in the back. So if you have ideas about things you want to market and promote on behalf of the historic West Side, please let Shalon know. And now I also want to take a moment. I see Mother Moore here. Thank you for being here, Mother Moore. And I think it was in one of the very early Transform Westside Summits, Mother Moore, when you were giving a devotion, you talked about, as we think about repopulating these neighborhoods, also how we kind of look after the remnants. And that inspiration from Nehemiah and grounded in that way, it heard from the community as we look to bring on new housing in the community, how to ensure folks from the community or who have a connection to the community are prioritized to go into that high-quality affordable housing. So that is our Home on the West Side program. So our Home on the West Side program says, do you live on the West Side? Do you work on the West Side? Did you go to school on the West Side? The Booker T. Washington cluster schools, or one of the Atlanta University schools, or if you're an alumni, that you are prioritized for high-quality affordable housing. And thanks to many supporters able to offer that housing, both our rental and our single-family, as more affordable than if it were just market rate. So we're very proud of that program, and the team here as well. And what I wanted to do, we're bringing on two new. We've done a fair amount of renovation where we buy something and we renovate it, but we did two new builds. And I'm going to show a video to show you the two new builds. One is on 839 Boone across from Katherine Johnson Park and English Avenue, and the other is on Echo Street near Donnelly Howell near the West Side Beltline connector. One is 33 units, the other is 24 units. And if you see that, we really want to make sure, because of our guidelines, a lot of people may come in and want to live in the housing, but we prioritize people that meet those guidelines. So we really need to get the word out, and so people know about this opportunity. So let's roll that video. Then I'm going to show some of our homes. All right. Thank you. And next up, I'm going to roll through some of the homes. These are all homes we have available for sale. And if you're interested, Tamika, does a great job. Thank you, our Director of Home on the West Side. And we've, I think, moved in over 60 families now through our program, and we really want to move in a lot more over the next few years. So hopefully, yep. So you can see 510 on James P. Brawley, or Lindsay Street, I'm sorry. And one of the things on this, you can see that we offer down payment assistance based on people's earnings. So once you qualify for a mortgage, then we'll layer in philanthropy as down payment assistance to help make that home more affordable. And that often stacks on top of money from both Invested Land and Atlanta Housing. So folks are getting buy downs of $80,000 to $90,000 to help go into an affordable home, which we're really proud about. So I think, and I see our Chief Real Estate Officer, Rachel Carey, is here. Thank you. You can see a great job. And we're going to be picking up a lot of momentum going into 2026 because it's taken a bit of time, to assemble the land that we have. And now we're really leaning into developing that land as high-quality affordable housing through our Home on the West Side program. So please, if you know of folks, to get registered in our program, either here or go through our website or come to our offices. So thank you, and thanks for the team for great job putting that together. And at the very end of our Transform Summit, I also want to remind folks, we're going to do a drawing. There it is. So the Home Depot Foundation has given out a gift card, as well as Goodwill of North Georgia. So we'll end also right before the trumpet playing with the gift card giveaway. And then, so next we're going to move into our devotion. I thought, because we always, even though we're going to be, really looking forward, to hearing some singing in just a moment, I thought I'd go ahead and read our devotion statement. We always, for those that are new, when we do a devotion, start by grounding the devotion and reading this statement. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to introduce the music performance. It's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive, inspirational message from a member of our community, recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the Westside Revitalization effort. The time at the beginning of our meetings is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their personal faith, it's meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful, with the story of Nehemiah as our guide. And so back to the story of Nehemiah in the Old Testament, as they rebuild Jerusalem, not only about making it safe by reconstructing the walls, but also how you rebuild community. And that's where you take a lot of inspiration, is rebuilding a community here in the historic West Side. And to help give voice to that, I'm excited this morning that Tiny Foster and the Dim Saints, they're a powerful gospel quartet known across the Southeast for their rich harmonies and soul-stirring sound that blends traditional quartet gospel with vibrant contemporary energy. Their music is deeply rooted in faith and community, creating an atmosphere of reflection, joy, and spiritual grounding, an ideal way to open our summit, especially during our holiday season. So I know you were back here in 2022, where you set an amazing tone and left a great impression, and we're honored to welcome them back. So to get them fired up, please give them a round of applause as they come up on stage and lead us. Check. Start song 1, 2.
Check.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Check. Just 1, 2. Just 1, 2.
Yeah.
Come on up with this microphone. Bring this one on up. Bring it on up. Bring it on up. The microphones. Can y'all hear me?
Two,
y'all can hear me?
1, 2.
Come on, put your hand together like this.
1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2.
We're gonna do a little Christmas song with us original. My keyboard player, 1, 2. She put this together. Is it all right?
Come on, y'all, let's sing. Let's get together for the holiday. Let's get together for the holidays. For the holidays this Christmas. Oh, let's get together for the holidays. For the holidays this Christmas. Then it said, hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. Dashing through the snow and the one-horse open sleigh this Christmas. Oh yeah. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire this Christmas. Oh, silent night, holy night, this Christmas. Oh, this Christmas. How many gonna enjoy your holiday? This Christmas, this Christmas, this Christmas, this Christmas, celebrate you, Lord. This Christmas, 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 celebrate you, Lord. Everything you love, this Christmas.
Y'all give him a hand. Is that all right? Justin, I'm an old country city boy. And I tell you, I like to have church. Y'all want to have just a little church? Huh? Feel God's spirit. We in the season where we give honor to the Christ. Can I get a witness? It seems like I got some Christian folks in here. I got a little old song that's on our brand new record coming out. So look out for it. Y'all look out for it. Say, what do you know? Do you know this man? I know that man. Bring me up from Galilee. He saved my soul. And always like me. If you'd have been there, could have been there. Yeah. When you came through, the man knew you touched me. You touched my soul. If you ain't for you, ain't for you. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Can I sing just a little bit more of it? I can? Cause I know that man. I know that man. That man from Galilee. He saved my soul. He saved my soul. He took it all right. All that's like me. If you'd have been there, could have been there. Yeah. When it came, he came through. He took my soul. He touched my soul. Stay right there. He touched my soul. He touched my soul. He touched my soul. One Friday, he touched my soul. When I was sick in the hospital, touched my soul. In 2020, touched my soul. When the COVID virus came, he touched my soul. I was in the hospital for 6 months. He touched my soul. When I came out the hospital, he touched my soul. I couldn't even walk. I stayed in a wheelchair for 5 months. He touched my soul. But that man named Jesus. He touched my soul. Do y'all know that man named Jesus? My soul. I gotta ask a quick question. My soul. My question is, do you know him? I know him. 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 Ever bad and bad? I know him. Do you know him? I know him. Ever have long hair? I know him. He's a man regulator. He's a heart fixer. He's a healer. Can I get a witness? And he all right. And he all right. And he all right. I can't say all I want to tonight, but I know that man. I know that man. I know that man. I know that That all right? How many know God been good to you? Bring this mic up.
Yeah.
How many know he been good to you? If you know he been good to you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can I come down there? We'll come down there.
Amen.
If you know God really been good to you,
Yes.
let me see you wave your hand. Oh, he been good to a lot of y'all, ain't he? I can't sing like I want to. I want to let loose. I got to hold myself. They didn't give me long. But if y'all don't mind, if y'all will take me to the top and let me call him. Listen. Something like this. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost, won't you lead me? Holy Ghost, won't you lead me? Yeah, me, save me. Oh, no. Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. Anybody who got that? Anybody who got that? I know there ain't anybody looking for it. I got the Holy Ghost. I'm talking about the Holy Ghost. I'm talking about the Holy Ghost. I got to get out of here. But he's been so good. I think that the Lord has been good. I think that the Lord has been good. Hey, all right. Hey, I got the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. I got that Holy Ghost. Do you vote that Holy Ghost? Thank you. May God bless you.
All right, y'all, it's my turn. You ready? I've been working on this. But let's give it, they came out early, set up. It's a lot of work to do what they did this morning, so let's really thank them. I appreciate how, music grounds us in fellowship. And I was, thinking, about our next segment when we typically take the time for everyone to do a self-introduction, which is a really important part of building community. But this morning we're going to do a little different. And I was actually, Dan, I always remember this conversation right when I started the Westside Future Fund when you were talking about the metaphor of building a wall, right, and putting the bricks into a wall, and that everyone needs to be one of those bricks. So part of, I think, the grounding ourselves in building community is we're it. We're the bricks that bring back Jerusalem and make it safe. So what we want to do this morning is just take a couple of minutes, we're around 2 minutes or so, just to say hello to your neighbor, left, right, forward, back, say good morning, get to know your neighbor, and then don't get too excited because it's only going to be about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, so don't go wandering around all over the place. Stay, But, We're ready to begin the next part of our program. So thank you. So if everybody could go ahead back in and take your seats, we'll get started again. So thank you for taking the time to get to know your neighbor. We'd ask everyone to go ahead and take a seat. Yeah, it takes a little bit of work, but I'll get there. Yeah, if everyone go ahead and sit back down. And we're going to get started with the next part of our program. So thank you everyone for taking the time to do those self-introductions.
Everyone, please take your seats.
Yeah, so thank you.
Please take your seats. Our program is resuming.
The voice of God is going to help me out, so thank you. All right, so for our next, I'm really excited that we have here, and very appreciative for him being here this morning, Dr. Bryan Johnson, who leads the Atlanta Public Schools as our superintendent. And he has a powerful belief in what's possible when vision, innovation, and community come together in service of students. His background as both a corporate executive and accomplished educator allow him to think boldly while staying deeply grounded in student success. In his first year at APS, Dr. Johnson helped the district reach a historic milestone, the highest graduation rate in APS history. Now let's give it up for that. While also driving academic gains across every grade level, proof of what's possible with focused leadership and shared accountability. Today, through APS Forward 2040, he is shaping a future where schools are not just places of learning, but launch pads for opportunity, deepening arts education, expanding workforce pathways, and ensuring APS students are prepared to thrive in a rapidly changing world. So to help introduce Dr. Johnson and his vision for a better tomorrow, let's watch APS Forward 2024. We're going to show this video and then begin our conversation.
At Atlanta Public Schools, we believe in investing where passion and potential meet. That's the heart of APS Forward 2040, a long-range plan to reimagine what our schools can be, not just for today, but for the future. This isn't just about buildings, it's about possibilities, the same possibilities that fueled Dr. Alonzo Krim and Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays. So let's talk about what's possible. Let's dream a little.
We spent the last year listening. That's why during APS Forward 2040, we've hosted more than 50 public meetings, read over 7,600 survey responses, responded to more than 600 Let's Talk messages, delivered 9 task force updates, and welcomed nearly 30,000 visitors to our APS Forward 2040 website.
And we've had countless one-on-one conversations across neighborhoods, schools, and community groups, because this process has been guided by thousands of voices, from families and educators to students and community partners.
Look, I know change isn't easy. It brings questions, worries, and unknowns. I've walked these hallways. I've sat with families. I've been a principal. I'm also a parent here, so trust me when I say, I get it. But with change comes opportunity. And right now, we have the chance to build something better, together. We ask our students what they want to be when they grow up. And through the Youth Science Aptitude Test, we've learned their #1 interest is in the arts.
So imagine this, a district-wide School of the Arts right here in Atlanta, based at Carver High School. A place where students can earn college credits while studying design, media arts, and creative tech, with weighted preference for students from the Carver community. We're not just dreaming big, we're building a pipeline. From elementary STEAM programs to high school pathways that launch real careers, and that includes healthcare.
Right now, we're working on the new Academy for Biomedical and Health Sciences, with plans to partner with local and regional medical schools. Students will train in real healthcare settings, earn certifications in mental health, biotechnology, or patient care, and start their path to becoming doctors, therapists, or medical researchers right now. And just down the road, APS is launching the new Atlanta Innovation Center with labs, studios, and wellness resources for both students and the community. We're not just imagining better schools, we're imagining a better Atlanta.
I am Kayla Kervin, and I'm a second-year biology major at Spelman College. At North Atlanta, I actually focused more on being a cheerleader, and that's because the extracurricular activities that they had that were not really based on what you were interested in. When I was hearing about the opportunities, it really excited me, especially because I'm a biology major, like I said, but I'm working on being a fashion marketing minor. So medical classes and the art classes would have worked a lot with me, and it would have prepared me for a lot of the things that Spelman is trying to teach me now.
APS Forward 2040 is about rethinking how we use every property that APS owns. That might mean reactivating unused buildings, turning schools into community hubs, or exploring partnerships for affordable housing, even for our own educators. Because when we treat schools like community assets, we don't just serve students, we strengthen entire neighborhoods.
Along with deeper program offerings, this plan will help the district save an estimated $25 million in operational savings every year and avoid $65 million in future repairs. That's money we can reinvest where it matters most, in kids, classrooms, and opportunity.
We're not just making the smart decisions, we're working to make the right ones. Because the truth is, we can't just keep operating a school system built for more than 70,000 students when we get the privilege of serving 50,000. But we can use every resource we have to build something better. So if you're skeptical, we get it. Come talk to us. Tell us what your perfect school looks like for your child, for your neighborhood, for your future, and for the future of Atlanta. Because if you want someone to tell you all the things that we can't do, I'm not your guy. But if you're ready to imagine what is possible, we'll use every tool at our disposal to bring the very best to the children of Atlanta. So come on, join us, dream with us. So let's reshape the future of education as one district with one goal for every child.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you for being here, Dr. Johnson.
for having me.
What I thought we could do this morning is you have a little Q&A, and then we'll open up for audience questions. But again, appreciate you being here. And just to begin, when I first started the Westside Future Fund, I made the mistake of referring to Booker T. Washington High School and was quickly corrected. Do you mean the Booker T. Washington? So we're going to say the Booker T. Washington cluster. And certainly I know some of the in the audience folks here who have children in the cluster, but maybe just starting, that was a great overview video, thank you. Absolutely. But what do you think about your priorities for improving academic achievement in the Booker T. Washington cluster?
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you all for your continued partnership with our schools. Thank you all for being here this morning. And let's give another round of applause to the musicians. We should have probably passed around a collection plate till they got done. But yeah, so, we have a really unique opportunity through APS Forward 2040 to really lean into the Washington cluster. When you look at our community and our city, Booker T. Washington sits right at the middle of the city. And so for us, we've, the impetus for us thinking about this plan and thinking about what we do next is really to make a deep investment in the Washington cluster explicitly, frankly. And we think we've got a unique opportunity to infuse some strong programming there, to provide more optionality for parents and families and students, most importantly. And then more important than even that, really be intentional about positioning students for the future. And we believe that, really starts and to an extent ends with how strong the Washington cluster is for our community.
Yeah, no, thank you. And as you, because I know when you first started your work, you toured all the schools.
Absolutely.
And as you toured the Booker T. Washington cluster, were there any real, do you think back, any real special moments?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So I had the privilege of starting during the 100th year, and so there were a lot of special moments just because of the history that exists. The Alumni Association had a ton of celebrations throughout the entirety of the year, and when I think about like any individual thing that was really special, I think it's a culmination of all of those things, and it's this recognition of the significance of Booker T. Washington High School to the city and the community, and frankly the nation. The legends that have walked the halls, and really the impact that they've had on the city and on the country, and so that was and is cemented for sure. To walk into an event that's celebrating the 100th year and to see I don't know, probably 1,000 alumni together in a room. You recognize the pride that folks have in Washington and the importance it has for this community.
No, I appreciate it. During the COVID period, we did Transform Westside Summits, because we couldn't all come together here. We did them at different sites. Yeah. We broadcast one of our Transform Live Summits from Booker T. Washington, Booker T. Washington High School, and then had the archivist, to your point, it's an amazing, the folks that have walked those halls, it's deeply inspirational. Yeah,
and I think the only thing I'd add to that is that because of that history, because of that excellence, we've got to make it all that it can be. We've got Board Member Tolton Pace, who is, I'll go and appreciate him being here today, and Shelley Goodrum Carhill, folks from our team. But, we are fully vested and committed in ensuring that we make the Washington cluster a place of destination. And frankly, that's a goal for the district. We want parents to choose Atlanta Public Schools. We know we've got a lot of work to do across a multitude of areas, from early literacy to, improving third grade outcomes, to making sure on the back end the students are really prepared for post-secondary, whether that's a 2-year or 4-year institution, or getting a meaningful certification or credential, or going to the military or being an entrepreneur. Like, there's a ton of opportunities, and one of the biggest challenges and opportunities we have is to take that 90% graduation rate and to turn it into a 90% matriculation rate to the next thing.
Well, speaking of entrepreneurs, I was at the Michael J. Hollis Innovation Academy yesterday. Yeah. And for those that don't know, Michael J. Hollis, very famous black entrepreneur from Atlanta, started the first black Atlanta Airlines, and a school named after him. And some of the MPUL leadership, MPUL is English Avenue Vine City, neighborhood planning unit, was doing an event to support the students and the teachers. Yeah. So I went by and, back to that community engagement, the family engagement. Yeah. And for you, when you think about meaningful family engagement, given all the experiences you've had, how can schools in kind of your vision with your leadership team build those strong relationships with parents?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't use it because it's the right thing to use, but we've been having this conversation more and more. For our families, we've got to be intentional about providing a Chick-fil-A like experience. There's a reason. It's always their pleasure, and children and families have more choice now than they ever have. Right. And so the level of candidly customer service that we provide is what draws people back, and understanding that in so many of our students' households and lives, they look different. Their folks aren't at fault for their situations and circumstances, and it's our job to meet them where they are And so, our vision is that folks see the school as a extremely welcoming place, a place that no matter if you earn $1 million a year, if you earn $1,000 a year, no dollars a year, you can come, you can enter, you know how to access, you know how to engage in your child's learning, which is on us to be intentional about doing. We've got so many students that, I've got a 14-year-old in the district, I'm okay on technology. We've got so many students that have a grandparent that's raising them or somebody that's disconnected from technology, and we lean on technology as a resource. They actually may need, the paper brought home. And so we need to be intentional about customizing and personalizing the experience, and that's what we want for our families. That's what we see, a place where they feel welcome, know how to access, know how to make an impact, and are engaged and involved.
Well, kind of, building on that, especially, appreciating when children walk into a school, they walk in with their experiences in their family, they walk in with their experience of their community and their neighborhood. And as a part of that, how can community partners, Westside Future Fund example, I want to especially thank, Sylvia Russell, who's our board vice chair, who's really championed our engagement with the Booker T. Washington cluster at the board level. But how can, not-for-profits, and I know we have some great representatives here today, businesses like Chick-fil-A and others, really help support your vision when you think about that, engagement from those of us that really want to help support the schools, and often support the schools with the things that schools don't do, right? How we can be more effective.
Yeah, so, you all are a great example of how to lean in. I remember, and again, not saying it's just because you all are here, but, you all reached out. I was at a principal's meeting, and I was like, we'll come to you. And so I thought we were just going to meet, and you said, well, we do want to meet, but we also want to invest in the schools. So, it's that active engagement. That's an opportunity for this community, and whether it's at the individual school level, whether it's at the district level, whether it's partnering. Carl Hill's here. Make sure Carl.Hill reach out. But then also we have a foundation, APFE, Katie Post and team, and then directly to the school. There's so many areas and ways in which to lean in. Let me say this, as important as it is, though, to provide, coats, and I want to be really, really clear about this, and backpacks and all those things, which we absolutely value. The most important thing we can do is position students to be successful post-graduation. So teaching kids to read, teaching kids to think critically, teaching kids to, understand how to navigate the social skills. That is the most important thing we can do to break some of the generational challenges that have persisted, not just in Atlanta, but in Atlanta and in other places across the country. When we look at literacy rates and then we look at earning in this community and we look at where our students and families are, we know there's a ton of opportunity. And so we're really committed to the academic program and making sure that we've had to do a lot around facilities and a lot around the budget to start to strengthen our foundation because we just had to. But it's time to accelerate from an academic standpoint, and that's really our focus going into this year.
I appreciate that, and pivoting off that, look at the academic achievement rates across the schools. You can see very different, achievement rates across.
Absolutely.
And often, as unfortunately, correlate to kind of where neighborhoods are in terms of their own vibrancy. But as you think, and what's really important and part of that intervention is that equity.
Yeah.
And so as you think about equity and ensuring, especially students in the Booker T. Washington cluster have access to high quality opportunities like Stanley just referenced and others. What are your thoughts around really delivering what that equity looks like?
Yeah. Well, we're unapologetic about it. We're unapologetic about making sure that no matter where you are, you have access. And we're not just saying it, from a cliche standpoint. We're actually putting feet in investment in it and to it. And so, when we look at, if you look at Atlanta, the two most central clusters are Washington and Carver, and we know we need to strengthen that footprint. And so strategically, that's where the investment is, and we have the benefit of the AUC and so many entities and organizations that are like Westside, like that are in that footprint, and so that's where the lean in opportunity is, not absent strengthening all the other things, because Douglas sits out there in Farrell and South Atlanta, but we really believe if we strengthen the core, it allows us to strengthen everything else as well. So again, we'll continue to lean in and invest. When you look at our per pupil expenditure, it is more significant as you look at Washington and Farrell and South and those places, and it should be. And so we're unapologetic about that investment, and we'll continue to be, the board charges me and us to be that way.
No, thank you. And this will be, we'll open up to audience questions after this, but to set that up, especially given all the, just the challenges of the work, and obviously all the challenges with, the national environment kind of changing their view and how they participate. What gives you the most hope, though? Most hope as you look ahead, and especially how this community, because I think everyone's here this morning, wants to be supportive. How to stand behind you and your team and your vision.
Yeah, I think always the students, the children, give me the most hope. You hear people say this generation's different, and they are. And so, it's incumbent upon us, I believe, to make a determination as to whether we just continue to sit back and say this generation's different, or figure out how to meet this generation where they are. They have access to so much more information at a really early age and early point, and they're synthesizing and processing it at a much quicker rate. Some of that really good. Some of that really bad. Sometimes they're getting too much too fast. It's causing some of the mental health challenges and all the things. But from the standpoint of what they can process and what they can do, I think the opportunities are limitless. They are boundless if we figure out how to meet them where they are. And so we have to continue to be nimble and to change, even as we've leaned into going back to the basics. Part of the impetus for getting back to the basics is to make sure that their foundation is strong. But we have to continue to meet them where they are, and they give me the most hope, because our kids are brilliant, and I really believe for so many of our students, whether it be in Washington, whether it be South Atlanta, like across Atlanta, a lot of times it's exposure and access and seeing something different. So the more we can expose them to what the opportunities are, the better they're going to be, the better positioned they're going to be to move us forward. But I'm extremely hopeful as we go forward.
Well, speaking of that hope, the young man singing this morning is an APS student.
I was thinking that, literally. I'm not going to put him on the spot, but I was thinking that. Yeah.
But we had the band actually ended to make sure he got to school on time.
I love it. I hope he's an APS student, and if he's not, we're recruiting.
So, what we're going to do now is open up to questions. If you have a question, hold your hand, and someone on our team will bring a mic to you. When you ask your question, hold the mic close to your mouth, because everyone's going to want to hear your question. I'll go ahead and apologize in advance, because we're going to stop around 8:55 or so. So probably not every question is going to get answered. So just want to acknowledge that when we get going, we'll do our best. So our first question, when you ask your question, please stand up so we can make sure we really hear you. Thank you. Thanks. All right, thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Johnson, for your time. Stephen Owens, I've got 3 kids at M. Agnes Jones. They're going to go to Washington in a few years. Seeing that Washington has like 1/4 the amount of AP course offerings as Midtown, and knowing that enrollment drives a lot of that, how can we change that to make sure that like my kids have the same access to opportunities for college enrollment courses as kids in the Midtown cluster.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me clarify and quantify something real quick, and then I'm happy to. So I'm going to try to be intentional about being as concise as possible with my answers, so that I can get to as many questions as possible. And then I've got a dart here, but one thing we're committed to is being accessible. So if anybody has follow-up that they want to get, we'll get it. Equal isn't equitable. Okay, we're unapologetic about that. So, we've got to move as a community from this idea that we should offer every single thing, every single place. I don't believe that philosophically. I believe what we should offer is access. And so your question was more in the spirit of access. How do we make sure that we can access, that your children can access AP opportunities? When we look at, the Washington cluster, we're making deep investment in, we'll be seeing us make a deep investment in biomedical. We'll obviously continue to make investment in, AP, dual enrollment, et cetera. But we should not be in a situation where every single school and community look the same. There should be differences. There should be opportunities for students, because all of our students don't look the same. And so there should be opportunities for students to access those courses and the coursework that interests them. And so that personalization matters. And we'll continue to lean in at Washington and make investment and bring more courses online. When you look at the data point for Atlanta Public Schools, we had about 500 more students take AP courses this past year than we did the year before. And the exciting thing about that is, in addition to that, the scores of 3, 4, and 5 increased. So it was the highest percentage that it's been in its history. So you had this kind of double, this double move that really doesn't happen. And we saw more Black and brown students taking advantage of AP courses. But AP isn't the only way. I was a former high school principal. Dual enrollment is amazing. Certification credentials are amazing. Entrepreneurship is amazing, you know what I mean? So there's so many going to the armed forces for some of our students. And so we need to provide the experience that makes sense for them.
Thank you. Next.
I have a question. Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for being here. I just want to note that while equity does not equal, it should with literacy.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm happy to hear about the deep investment in the Booker T. Washington High School. APS can have deep investment in high school, but we are not positioning our kids for success without literacy foundations and equity. It does matter to our location because Washington cluster doesn't have foundations like they do on the other side of town. We don't have $200,000 deeply invested in the literacy to make up supplements. And when we talk about, quote, meaningful family engagement, Dr. Mincy mentioned at the last board meeting, the Literacy Council, and I've reached out to her and asked her about this, and it's not fully formed. There's not a lot of space for parents. And I believe we have in our Washington cluster the state in 4 of our 5 schools. So what is the plan for deep investment in the foundations of literacy? Because we have to have it.
Yeah, you're right. So actually this month, Little Council just kind of got formed. And I won't go too far back into the story, but folks have been making investment in that space. We've got to address literacy as a community. The investment is going to be deep. It has been deep, but not necessarily, and I'm just being very frank, I'm always just very honest. I don't think it's been as structured and focused as it should be. And so you're going to see a more structured and more focused approach. You are going to see a more controlled approach. So we probably will start with 3 to 5 schools. We obviously are going to pick schools that need it the most and be unapologetic about that. Washington will, we're going to ask principals to apply, but Washington's going to probably see that because to the point, there are 4 of our 5 schools that have been on the list. I look at Hollis as a shining example. Hollis is a school that made tremendous gains this past year. It's one that we, are excited about. And Magnus has a super focused principal that's moving some good work. Like I could go down the list. So, to your point, we're going to make deep investments there. You're going to see us focus on talent and quality unapologetically. We've done a great job of compensating employees and teachers, and I think it's important. Our retention rate's 90%. Our salary's over $90,000 on average for our teachers. we got to make sure the quality is the same and unapologetically. And also, I would say, it's getting further upstream. So, a lot of energy is placed in schools on third grade. For us, you're going to see more focus on K1 and 2, pre-K 1 and 2, and the quality of pre-K, of the pre-K teacher, the K teacher, the first grade teacher, and the second teacher, as well as the accountability in those spaces. What doesn't get measured doesn't get done. And the reality is in pre-K, K1 and 2, there has not been as focused a measurement. So yeah, we're absolutely going to invest.
Thank you.
And one, reach out to us, Shelley or Carl. We'll get your number for you. They are looking at a separate literacy council that is that not separate, but a more community-focused literacy council expansion as well. So.
And maybe before I take, do you want to introduce your folks here? People know.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shelley Goodrum, who leads instruction and innovation. So. Everything teaching and learning, and then Carl Hill, who leads external relations. So we'll make sure before you get out of here, and I've seen you at facility meeting. Where are your daughters? I know where they are. I'm saying they're at school, right? Okay. Yes. Yeah. I know where they are. Yeah. She's got the cutest 2 little girls. Like they're amazing.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for your commitment to education in general. As an alum of the Booker T. Washington, we thank you. Our concern is about vocation. We want to be equally as proficient with our hands as well as with our minds. Mm-hmm. We want to be proficient with our hands and our minds working together for education.
Yeah.
School openings and closings. Will we be in the room or at the table when we decide what's good and what's best for that community? Number one. Number two, in terms of partnering with our other schools within the cluster, hats off to Morris Brown College, which provided Washington High with its first principal 10 to 15 years, Dr. C.L. Harper. We forget whose shoulders we stand on. But lastly, will we be in the room at the table when we decide to expand a school or to close a school? A classic example when we are innovative. Hollis Academy at one time had no windows because we thought if you couldn't see outside, you wouldn't be distracted. But this is where we welcome new ideas.
Well, we're going to make sure you got windows. But yeah, our goal is to engage, and it's simply yes, and we tried as we went through the facility planning. Like we don't ever set up and try to say we're going to be perfect, but we tried to be really intentional about engagement and coming to the community and coming to schools and understanding what's important, and we will continue that perpetually going forward. And so. There are some structured things that allow us, that require us to do that. Local governance teams, et cetera, NPUs. Atlanta's got these NPUs. I've learned about these NPUs, and these NPUs are real. You know what I mean? So we met with NPUs, and we've met with NPUs, and we met with NPUs, which is great. You know what I mean? And so, absolutely, yeah. In short, it's absolutely. We got SPLOST coming up. We've got a little bit of redistricting that'll take place that will impact the Washington cluster from the standpoint really of adding numbers to Washington. One thing I know we talk about we've used the cluster word quite a bit. Like we're really focused on feeder patterns because that's really what Washington is. It's a feeder, and having that organizationally allows us to strengthen the entire K-12 continuum.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson. My name is Shane Talbot. I live in the West End neighborhood. My son is at Westside Atlanta Charter School. Just a quick question as far as like career. I'm just thinking more like skill-based learning.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was in high school, we had auto shop and woodworking, welding, and things of that nature. What are some things that you all are thinking about as far as like career technology education for those who want a different path other than going to college?
Yeah. Fully vested, ton of opportunity in those spaces. ACCA, Atlanta College and Career Academy, actually sits in the Washington cluster, is accessible for all of our students to do half-day programming. There's auto, carpentry. I was literally Monday or Tuesday in an HVAC classroom where, there were 15 or 20 primarily it was young men in there that were, looking at that career as a field. I think I mentioned autos there. There's also dentistry and culinary and all the things, right? So we'll continue to make that investment, but we're also looking at the intentional expansion in those places where we can. And so, again, it gets back to the earlier question about AP, like, we're not going to do carpentry necessarily in every single school in Atlanta public school. It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is to make sure that if your son is interested in, the construction trades or whatever it is, that he can get access to that, because that's the best usage of our resources. So we'll continue to invest there. A ton of jobs and opportunity in that space.
Great, Zoe.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Jalen Maddox. I had a question following up on a technology piece. At what level are y'all using new technologies like AI from the teaching standpoint, even to the student level? And then where do you guys want to go in the next few years when it comes to those technologies?
Yeah. Well, being that I have an 8th grader, I don't know if he's writing anything anymore. Lord have mercy. Superintendent's son ain't no good. He's a good kid. But our students, right, again, they come up in a time where, like running it through AI is like the back of their hand. So we got to teach them how to use it in the appropriate way, which is something we're focused on, and teaching them how to refine it, all while taking, a lot of times educators that have been doing it for 15 years that aren't as comfortable in making sure that they can speed up, and catch up and stay in front as much as they can of students. So we're trying to juggle both of those things with making sure the students understand appropriate usage while teachers leverage it as a tool and a resource. And there are a lot of usages in which it makes them more efficient in what they do from a teaching side as well. And then you've got the secondary piece of like making parents comfortable with it, because now as a teacher, if I'm running papers through AI to grade them, how do I articulate that to a parent to make them feel like I actually value their child's work? So there's this entire movement of the community. But yes, we're using it. Yes, our teachers use it, have different levels of comfort. Our students are pretty comfortable. And so, again, it's teaching them the appropriate use. On the back end, we're becoming more efficient operationally with leveraging AI and tools and resources on the operational side of the house as well, in particular in finance and areas like that. Yeah.
Great. So I think we have time for one more question. Great. Thank you.
Oh, well, I think you pretty much I was going to piggyback on the literacy comment that Lady made, and thank you again for coming out, Dr. Johnson, and also to your co-host there. I'm new to Westside, so I'm a willingly parent and grandparent and standing in for a 4th generation great-grandparent, and I think my question would be, you mentioned the STEM program, and I have a grandson that goes to Hollis, may go to Washington in the future. But what other, I guess I'm just more concerned with connecting to the community and connecting to Atlanta Public Schools. And you did say that we can reach out to your extended partners there. But I do take it at heart, to see that like you said, the 3rd graders are connected technology-wise, be it after-school specials, but I would love to see you guys firmly connect the schools, be it elementary to after-school specials, and bringing in more technology and crossing it over. So I don't know if you have plans, but I think more than anything, crossing paths and coming together like Westside Future really, makes an effort to do. I think it's imperative that we know how to reach you guys or how to connect with you guys. Even my grandson, he goes to an after-school program that I'm going to consider, But looking at I'm going to consider volunteering. But I'm not saying I want to be a shining bright star, but I just take it to heart. It's like my heart is hurt sometimes when I watch what couldn't be done, and as a 30-year veteran of Atlanta, I'm really concerned. But I thank you guys for, pulling this together and seeing that, the aptitude of what it means.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I don't know, your statement was more I ditto your statement. Is anything to add? Lot that can be done.
Well, thank you. Always appreciate the passion the community has and their schools and the Booker T. Washington cluster drawn on that amazing history. Westside Future Fund, we appreciate how easy you made it to partner with the schools. So I know for Martin Luther King Day, our volunteer program led by Raquel Husband, I think we have a volunteer activity in every single school. Yeah. Where we partner with different corporations and others. And also our Home on the West Side program I talked about earlier, the Booker T. Washington Club, any parent going, have at the school or any staff member or principal all qualify for our program. So I know and appreciate our team will be getting around making sure people know, because we know one of the things that we can really offer is helping families stabilize so that they can, stay in the cluster all the way through and try to drive down families chasing the cheapest rent, which can really affect student achievement. So we really thank you. I thank you for taking the time to be here this morning. And what we're going to do is give him a big round of applause to thank him and his team. And appreciate, I'm going to, draw a couple, the Home Depot gift card and the Goodwill giveaway. And as that's happening, we're going to get set up for Dan and Kathy to lead us in our goodbye song, Joy to the World. So we'll, I think, get that set up. But I'm gonna call out the numbers for the gift card. And again, thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you very much.
All right. So this is the Home Depot gift card. So and thank you to the Home Depot Foundation. 419350. 419350. A winner. All right, the next 3140765 for the Goodwill North Georgia gift card. All right, thank you. And we always have the gift of Chick-fil-A breakfast for our Transform Westside Summit. So let's thank Chick-fil-A for their continuing support. And he's here this morning. We're also, starting with our board this year, Brent Fielder, who's on the leadership team of Chick-fil-A. Thank you for being here this morning, as joining the board of the Westside Future Fund. All right, so we're ready for an exciting moment. Come on up, and I'm gonna exit this way. And can we have y'all have a mic? We can grab one of the mics. Yes. Thank you. No, we can do it. We got plenty of mics.
Yeah, we got to step here.
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. We're going to close out here with a little bit of joy to the world. There's all kind of things going on out there, but I choose joy. I choose joy. And we got a lot of things going on in our community and our world. A lot of stinking thinking out there. A lot of people need a checkup from the neck up. But my challenge to all of us during this season, let's choose joy. Let's choose joy. Despite our problems, despite our challenges that we all face, let's choose joy. So stand up, and we got Tiny that's here.
And I'm going to do a little intro. I think we got words up on the screen if you don't know it already. And we got John up here. Let's encourage these guys. Give them a round of applause here just to thank them for leading us. There you go. I don't need it for the trumpet. No, I got loud enough. John, there's your microphone.
There you go.
All right, we're going to have words up here. Hopefully have the words up here. If we don't, we'll think we may all do. I'm going to give you an introduction. I'm going to put it in a lower key so we can all sing it with a lot of enthusiasm.
Let everyone sing together.
Everyone sing together.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.